Liam, they're all big games. Cork at home, does it have extra meaning for you?
Look, Dara, it's a big occasion here tonight. Really looking forward to testing ourselves again. You know, formidable Cork team picked, so it's going to be a great opportunity for us to assess where we are again tonight.
How are you feeling about this game tonight?
Yeah, look, delighted. Look, obviously, this is our third league game, and the first one is a bit of dry weather, so really looking forward to 2 or 3 weeks break. So just a great opportunity. We're looking at a good few fellas tonight again. So look, we know the Tipperary going well above in Thurles. Cork and Tipperary, delighted to be here. Yeah,
because you have good memories of here from last year.
Yeah, look, we've a lot of bad ones too before, but look, obviously, the memories last year were good, so we know the Tipperary will be coming really, really strong tonight. So look, it'll give us a great opportunity to get better.
What's your view on where you are now? The under-20s, the players that came in have had a big impact on the group.
Yeah, look, we're in good spirits. The new energy that these guys have brought is superb, and as a unit, we're preparing really well. Everybody together, we're working hard, and looking forward again, as I said tonight, to really going at this and see where we are.
I know you wanted to mention Michael O'Sullivan and the minute silence that's here from tonight.
Yeah, look, just on behalf of Cork J and look, really all J supporters, we'd like to pass on our deepest condolences to Michael's family and his friends. Obviously, look, we have a load of lads out here that are trying to live their dreams, be into county hurlers. He lived his dream as a jockey and got to the very top of the game and looked really, really sad. And look, he was a fantastic player for Kilshannig J as well. So we just want to pass on our deepest sympathies.
We all echo those sentiments as well. Last May, Cork came here and they ran riot. What have Tipperary got to do differently tonight, Liam, to stop a similar result?
Yeah, well, I think Liam Cahill was very clear that, I think he's really anxious to put a lot of conditioning and pace into his team. I thought last year, coming up to half-time, it was fairly even. Stephen, Tipper well in the game, but Shane Barrett, you'll notice that he plays centre forward but comes out a lot. He plays the wings and, he really should have been dealt with. But you can see Cork's intent. They're just keen to go at you all of the time. And, Alan Connolly obviously bagged 3 goals on the day and that was a great goal. And that was just before half-time. And right after half-time, it's 117 to 114, 3-point game. And there's a long ball in. And again, you see the way Shane Barrett is coming. But every time he's contemplating taking on the man again, looks back out. But, they're not happy with tipping the point. They're all the time wondering, is there potential for a goal here? And, they're the way they take you on, as a defender, they're a nightmare of a team to play against. And, their pace is not just troubling Tipperary. I think it's troubling a lot of teams, and it troubled Limerick as well. But I think definitely Liam Cahill would have looked at that, and I think he'll be anxious to stop their runs and not let them go, because I think he's got a great conditioning into their team. I've been very impressed with Tip's conditioning, and I think, the spirit that they showed on the back of those goals last year, I think they dropped the heads, and I think there's a real good spirit in the camp again this year. So he'll be really keen to see where they are, and I think tonight's a perfect opportunity for him.
It's hard to put your finger, Liam, on the league semi-final. Everything was going very well, Damien, this time last year, and on from that, and then it kind of went wrong against Clare and Portlaoise. And then the Limerick game, obviously, in the Gaelic grounds came along, and that was a bad beating, and the wheels sort of just completely came off. And even watching that clip there now, those 2 goals that we saw, the tackling, just was that first goal that should have been stopped over near the sideline, but that wasn't there at that stage.
But you'd have to say that they're tackling, I was really impressed 2 weeks ago against Limerick. I thought the way that, I know you might say Limerick are missing a lot, but I just thought the way Tip applied themselves, I thought they really went at it, and I thought that was very encouraging.
And likewise Cork against Limerick in the rain below.
Yes.
I have a question for you. Tom Ryan wrote in his column today that Tipperary are making progress but won't get anywhere unless they have a full forward line, an outright full forward line. With the pace that Cork have at the other end, Tipperary are surely going to try and clog their numbers. So how do you get the balance right between shoring up the defence and having a presence in that full forward line?
Oh, well, Damien, I thought the last night that they were overrun around the middle, to be honest with you. Dermot Burns rolled back the clock a couple of years. He was outstanding, and you have to compete around that area, and I thought Adam English and Cian Lynch just ruled midfield. So I would expect maybe that Alan Tynan would go out maybe and crowd that. Now that'll be matched probably with Ethan Toomey going out to meet him, and I'd say you could see 2 inside on both sides tonight, with Ronan Maher obviously trying to shore it up in the middle,
which is not unusual these days.
And Kieran Joyce doing the same for Cork.
Yeah, but likewise, I think Shane Barrett will want to play deep, so Shane will be roaming and Jake will be roaming. Jake has 9 points got from play, so if Kieran Joyce wants to sit back, Jake can hurt him. I've been impressed as well with Tipperary's midfield partnership. Now, I know they found it tough going against Limerick, but you're against Cian Lynch and Adam English, but they've 11 points got from play, which is some return in three league matches. And I think the ball they're playing into Darren McCarthy and Sean Kennelly, they're trying to play purposely crossfield ball in front of them. So I think there's more purpose to Tips play in 2025 than I seen last.
And hugely, Liam, he stuck with them. I thought they were overrun the last day. I thought they were both taken off. I thought English and Lynch were contenders for man of the match.
They played well in their first 2 games.
They did.
Really well, and he stuck with him for tonight, so that's
a great sign.
What I mean, up against Tim O'Mahony now and Dara Fitz tonight, it's going to be another huge test.
That's Craig Morgan, Willie Connors you're talking about. As regards Cork, you showed the potency that they have, Liam. 30 points a game, maybe they've conceded over the last few years on average. Is that maybe what they need to look at? Because the forwards are so lethal.
Yeah, well, I think we would have questioned Cork's defensive backbone, and in fairness, Owen Downey and Robert Downey, they've done a smashing job in it last year. Kieran Joyce is very strong, so I think they improved in 2024. But if they're really to make the step, they've got to make. And I think tonight, you know, they've got 8 from their All-Ireland starting winning team. They've got 4 guys that come on, so they've 12 of the players that featured in the All-Ireland final last year. So they'll be anxious to come up, and I think they're going to meet a Tipperary challenge head-on. You can imagine a Tipperary dressing room after losing by 18 points last year. They won't lack for motivation, so we should see a proper match here.
Final call to you, Delo. How do you see it so preview-wise?
Oh, well, look, I kind of went for Cork, I think, but I think 2 weeks of Liam Cahill reminding the boys Cork coming to their own patch again. And significantly, when Tip came out, we all commented that there was quite a roar, and Liam has wanted the supporters to get back behind him, and I think there's a good lot of them here tonight.
Yeah, let's see how the story of the game unfolds in the company of Darragh Maloney, who is alongside a very proud father and Offaly man, Michael Duignan.
Yes, thanks very much, Damien. Yeah, Michael, particularly delighted with what happened in Croke Park earlier on. We'll chat about that in a second, but let's have a check on these 2 teams. Tip making 2 changes after the Limerick match. Joe Caesar was on the under-20s 2 years ago. He returned from injury recently, played well in a challenge match against Galway, and he takes his place at half-back. Jason Ford, a very familiar name, added to the attack. He's surrounded by 2 of their young guns, Darragh McCarthy and Sean Keneally, who scored that wonder goal against Limerick. So now Cork, 5 changes to this team. They're missing a host of regulars. Owen Downey back in the team at full back. Micheál Mullins starts for the first time. Robbie Cotter, the corner forward, is also starting for the first time for Cork. Robbie O'Flynn and Jack O'Connor have been drafted into the Cork attack this evening. So they are the 2 starting teams. Michael Duignan, you've had a big day already. Great victory for Offaly over Dublin. Big night here for both of these.
Yeah, absolutely, Dara. I actually said at the start of the league that I thought that maybe these 2 teams that are playing tonight, that the league meant the most to them. Cork haven't won the National League since 1998. They haven't won an All-Ireland since 2005. So I think for them, the motivation is there to win a national trophy. And I think for Tip, Liam Cahill was obviously under pressure after last year. And I think he's really maybe only putting his stamp on it now this year with the young lads coming through that he coached to win 20 and 21 All-Irelands. So they've been impressive. Cork obviously missing a lot of players, so lads getting a chance to play there tonight. So I think whoever wins this is going to put themselves in a very strong position to get into the shake-up to win the league.
And as well, Michael, you look around Semple Stadium, there's a big crowd here.
There's a great crowd, and there was a great old buzz on the way up. I met Willie O'Connell, Tommy's father, on the way up, and they were well up for they loved their hurling in Cork, and Cork Tip and Thurles. Cork Tip and Thurles has always been the sort of the big one. So yeah, great crowd around, lovely evening, and the bad weather we've had and everything else, and I think it's back tonight and tomorrow, so we'll enjoy it while we're here there.
We will for the next 70 odd minutes. The visit of Cork, it's been mentioned by the lads earlier on, last year for Tipperary fans in this stadium was kind of burned into the Tipperary psyche since that heavy defeat, but as Michael mentioned, the addition of the 20s to the Tip panel has been massive and brought great energy to that setup, and you can see it, and that's kind of affected everybody in the group.
Yeah, well look, it's a cliche about being a young man's game, but you need the balance. Like, you do need young players, but you need your experienced players as well, and we saw that last year. Like Cork have had that with Patrick Horgan, Seamus Harnedy, lads like that, and Tip obviously probably had an awful lot of lads that were still there, you know, from the great team that won All-Irelands, the Bonners. Noel McGrath still there, Brendan Maher had gone on, Pádraig Maher, all these brilliant, probably generational players. To lose them all at the one time left a big gap. So it's getting that balance right, introducing new players while keeping the experienced ones, and we have a nice blend of youth and experience here tonight.
And as well, like the list of Cork players who are unavailable tonight: Decky Dalton serving the second of his 2-match suspension, Pádraig Power, unfortunately a cruciate injury for him recently, Seamus Harnedy, Conor Lahan, Sean O'Donoghue, Shane Kingston, Mark Coleman, Rob Downey. That's a seriously impressive list of talent. Now, just at this point in the evening, Pat Ryan mentioned it earlier on, he wanted to mention Michael O'Sullivan, excuse me, the young Cork jockey who passed away in the hours of last Sunday morning following a fall just up the the road here at Thurles Racecourse. That took place on the 6th of this month. Michael was a huge Gaelic Games fan, as well as a hugely talented jockey, and we're thinking of Michael's family and his friends here at Semple Stadium this evening. Ar Yeshde Gareva on him.
At the Cheltenham Racing Festival in 2023 and ever great success. The extent of these activities to his parents, children, parents, and his brothers, and extended family, friends, and colleagues at this sad time. Tipperary CA would also like to extend the sympathy to the family of most Reverend William Walsh, Bishop Emeritus, who passed away this week.
And prayers of all sports people and sports people right across the province and right across the country have been with the O'Sullivan family in the last couple of days and the last couple of weeks as well, since that awful news broke of Michael's really serious injury here in Thurles just a couple of weeks back. So it does really put hurling and sports overall.
Around the beach.
It is a beautiful evening at Semple Stadium at Thurles. There is not a breath of wind around this famous ground. Liam Gordon of Galway is the referee. And we're just waiting to see if there've been any early positional switches. Don't think so. So let's go. And off we go. And a first touch of the evening for Craig Morgan. There's lots of pace and speed in this Tipperary team. Cork, well, they've had that for quite a while anyway. That's Ger Mellerick, his third start of the league campaign in their third game. Belting it down. Well, it was a kind of an aimless ball, and it's easily caught by Joe Caesar. And Joe is on his way. New man into the tip half back line. Alan Tynan, dispossessed, tried to recycle it. Tipperary will want to make an early statement here. Jason Ford, that runs away from Craig Morgan, operating in the middle of the field. We think Alan Tynan may go out and be a third body out there for Tipperary. And that shot is blocked down, and sheer weight of numbers and good tackling, and Kieran Joyce comes out with it for Cork. Ethan Toomey just couldn't bring that under control. Jake Morris has had a big league for Tipperary, emerging as a real leader in that centre-forward position, scoring a lot from play. Brian O'Mara fires that forward for Tipperary. And now there's young Darragh McCarthy, the 19-year-old, and it takes two from Cork to take the ball off him. Micheál Mullins, Owen Downey, and all the way across to Cormac O'Brien. It's his third start as well. So Robbie O'Flynn had a lot of space. Had dropped back into a deeper position. Ethan Toomey, and now Shane Barrett, the Cork captain, keeps that low, and it's gone over. Barry Hogan just couldn't prevent it going over the crossbar, so Cork take the lead in the second minute.
Yeah, great teamwork there by Cork. Worked out Owen Downey, so comfortable on the ball for a full back. Played it up along the wing, and Shane Barrett just about carried it over the bar.
So now pulled on by Garrod O'Connor. It's a big night for him as well. He was man of the match in the Fitzgibbon final. So there's been an awful lot of rain in these parts of late, and certain sections of the pitch, and we had the Tipperary and London footballers played here earlier on, so parts of the pitch have cut up, which is understandable at this time of the year. Micheál Mullins of Glen Rovers. And Willie Connors just getting stuck in, or trying to. Joe Caesar has had a couple of possessions for Tipperary early on in his inter-county career. Now Garrod O'Connor from right on halfway. He loves that. Didn't even see it get over the crossbar. He knew from the moment he struck that it was a beauty. So the teams are level.
Yeah, I saw Ronan Maher bursting through the gap there and gave off a lovely hand pass, and Garrett had to sidestep the ref before sticking it over the bar.
Now, this is Jack O'Connor from Sarsfields, made it all the way to the Club All-Ireland final. That didn't work out too well for them, but that's worked out nicely for Jack with his first shot. Cork go back in front.
Yeah, brilliant pace. Look at that for a first touch. Great footwork. He had a great year, as you say, with his club. And, you know, he burst on the scene, Dara, when he came first. Was out of the team maybe for a couple of years, but back with a bang there, and a great start to his confidence to worldly good.
Barry Hogan with the long tuck out right down the middle, and Cork just hoover that up. Dara Fitzgibbon with the touch. Now Tim O'Mahony. Two giants in the middle of the field for Cork. Now this is from way out from Dara Fitzgibbon. There's not a breath of wind, and that is gorgeous from Dara Fitzgibbon.
Yeah, Tim O'Mahony probably fouled there, but he turned around, flicked a lovely ball. The movement to Cork so far, electric. They're very, very hungry. They're very strong in the tackle, and they're playing really well as a team.
Another long puck out from Barry Hogan. Oh, that's a great catch, and it's just flung away by Alan Tyne, and now they're in here. Here's an opportunity for Tip for a goal, and they've got the goal. Straight through. A wonderful finish from Jake Morris. Absolutely brilliant. Just run at them. What a catch from Tynan too.
Yeah, brilliant catch. Nobody came up here, but look at the way he released the hand pass and put Jake Morris into space. The pace he has, there was a loose man inside, but he didn't need him. He just low ball. Look at that, off the ground. Very hard for the goalie to save it.
Well, Liam Cahill teams love goals, and they've got one. And here's Shane Barrett for Cork with the reply. Brian Hayes. Serious talent he is, and look at the power, and he's just hopping off Tipperary men. Well, there's four of them close to him, and they've turned the ball over. That's Brian O'Mara. And out comes Tipperary fullback Owen Connolly, who's really settled into that fullback role. Loose ball, Ger Mellerick picks it up for Cork. A glance over the shoulder and lets it fly. Joe Caesar in after that. Robert Doyle is there as well. He's a really good cornerback. And the ball just getting stuck on the ground until Craig Morgan got involved, just popping the ball out to Ronan Marr, the Thurles Sarsfields player. He's just one to aim at up there, and that one wasn't enough. Sean Keneally did really well to get out in front of Niall O'Leary. O'Leary was in charge of that, you thought, all day long, but didn't tell Sean Keneally that.
Yeah, wonder goal the last day, the overhead strike, brilliant finish, instinctive, and you're setting up already great one-on-one battles. There's no sign of a sweeper anywhere, and it's going to be a good open game.
So we've a little stoppage for treatment for Shane Barrett of Cork.
You can see the pitch there. You were talking about one of the best pitches in Ireland, but the weather has just been so bad. It's a credit to have a double header of an evening like this.
Yeah.
We have a blood sub, I think, there, have we?
So Shane having to leave the field temporarily. Cork are getting ready to bring on a blood sub should they need it. They may not, actually. Micheál Mullins. Shane is still off the field. That's Willie Connors using his considerable strength just to try and claim the ball. Then he lost it. Robert Doyle is there, the tip cornerback. And Ethan Toomey. And Liam Gordon says, do you know what? I think we might just throw the ball in to restart the game. Craig Morgan. Ronan Marr. It's a good ball from Ronan Marr. Look where Owen Connolly is, the fullback. Well, he needed to improvise, and he did with two Cork men around him. It just ran away from Darragh McCarthy, and Owen Connolly is still going after this. Owen Downey got a touch on it, but Connolly has continued his run forward. And he's got it, oh, he had it and then lost it. Huge tussle over there for possession. Dara Fitzgibbon just bringing some calmness to the whole thing, and Patrick Collins. Cork working the ball up through the lines. They will hit it long from here. Robbie O'Flynn with the shot, no pressure on him, and that was brilliant from Barry Hogan. Remember, earlier on he couldn't prevent the first shot from O'Flynn going over, but he kept his eye on that all the way. I always feel it's a kind of heart and mouth moment for the goalkeepers, but not for Barry Hogan. This is brilliant direct hurling from Tipperary. Alan Tynan. Well, there were only a couple of passes involved in that move, and it's Dara McCarthy who gets the score.
Yeah, that was great movement off the ball. He made himself available, made the run, picked the pass and over the bar.
Now at the other end, Shane Barrett's very definitely back on the field. Barrett trying to pick a way through. There's the goal for Brian Hayes. They kind of walked it in. There was no kind about it, they did.
Yeah, and the half forward and get a lot of room. Here's Barrett, but look at this for a little touch. That's brilliant skill, and Hayes was cool. He took his step into space, but Shane Barrett here, this touch off the hurl, class, had the vision to see the man loose beside in a very tight space. Great goal.
So Brian Hayes with the goal for Cork. This is Cormac O'Brien from Newtown Shandrum. Just sent into the space, which is filled by Tipperary's Brian O'Mara. Referee didn't like the challenge on Brian, so it's a tip free.
Interesting, you've mentioned Owen Connolly at fullback.
Yeah.
Brian O'Mara, maybe more known as centre-back. Michael Breen has been midfield, cornerback. Craig Morgan, middle of the field. He's a cornerback normally, so good to see that, giving lads a chance in different positions.
That's a foul on Cormac O'Brien on his way out. Patrick Collins coming out to take this. Movement from Jack O'Connor ran a long way to get out there ahead of Robert Doyle, and Jack O'Connor, we know, has the eye in from earlier on. That one though has gone wide, and it's been a high quality start. That is the first wide.
Yeah, again, great movement. Patrick Collins, a serious man to deliver a ball, and Jack will be disappointed didn't slot that one.
Pat Ryan just scanning across the field. Darragh McCarthy. We saw Darragh get his score, but he's actually had a lot of assists in Tipperary's 3 games during the run so far. This is going to be a free in, and well, they have loads of other quality free takers in their team, but this has been Darragh McCarthy's gig since he started against Galway that night in Salthill.
A very unique style. I was saying to Darragh beforehand, he gets down over, then he stands up, throws up his bit of grass. So it's definitely a unique style that generally works.
That one has gone wide. I was trying real careful not to do the commentator's curse thing. Just let the lad do his stuff. Now this is Ethan Toomey of Cork from the bars. Tim O'Mahony. Again, they love that ball. They changed the angle of the attack, and it's Jack O'Connor. He got it a few minutes ago over on the far side, and the referee was trying to let an advantage develop, but Jack O'Connor looks up for this for sure. It's a free in for Cork.
And you can tell a lot about a player's mindset in that instance. Look, he was clearly fouled, pushing it back, but he was up like a flash. He wasn't looking for the free, and he was gone again, you know. And if you're not right mentally, you'd be looking for whinging there, looking for the free. None of that. He's been all over the place since the start, left to right, and causing havoc in there.
So Darragh Fitzgibbon is on the Cork freeze. And that's a routine one to start for the Charleville player. Barry Hogan, shorter puck out right to Brian O'Mara, and then they fire it long. Movement ahead, Darragh McCarthy just left it after him. tussle on the ground with his marker, but Kieran Joyce it was, sweeping up and hoovering up, and then Micheál Mullins launches the ball long. Again, there's big one-on-one battles up there. Brian Hayes in the tussle with Owen Connolly. Brian Hayes doing an audition for the footballers. Tim O'Mahony recycles the ball back out to Cormac O'Brien, right down the middle from 63 metres away. Doesn't miss.
Yeah, as you said, good recycling, no panic. That's what Cork do well.
So Barry Hogan opted against the short one. Here's Alan Tynan. Has Micheál Mullins behind him for company. Tynan, a great man to run with the ball on the stick, and off he goes. 3 Cork men towards him, then lets it off to Jason Ford, and Ford scores for Tipperary. That's a really nice attack. Tynan did well just to draw the cover. Ford was free.
Yeah, he's having a very good league. Beautiful pass again off the hurl. Top rugby player is a younger man, but has given the full commitment to tip hurling over the last couple of years, and that's a lovely score as well.
So this one is very high from Patrick Collins, and it's come to Ethan Toomey, and Toomey lets it go to Brian Hayes, and Hayes is on his bike, got 1 goal already, trying to set up one of his teammates, and they kind of fluffed that one, but they may still get something out of it. Not quite though. Craig Morgan is there, and Morgan, he'll run all evening for Tipperary as well. Off he goes. Robbie O'Flynn with an important stick in just to turn the ball over. A mistake by Morgan. Pressure on. Here's Robbie Cotter. First start for Cork. Cotter flicks the ball back, and now it's Robbie O'Flynn with the effort, and it's gone in off that far post. So Robbie O'Flynn with the Cork point. They look very threatening.
They do, and they're probing, they're looking for the goal opportunities. That was a bad pass by Brian Hayes. Shane Barrett had created the overlap. Robbie O'Flynn eventually finished it just in off the post. He's looking very lively too, has had an awful run with injuries over the last couple of years, but on his day, he's a fantastic player.
So Barry Hogan trying down this side now. That is absolutely brilliant from Brian O'Mara. What was he doing up there? Advantage been played. O'Mara just let the ball go. We're going to go back for the free. Well, it would have been fabulous for him if he'd converted that, because it was a wonderful catch. Then he was fouled. Darragh McCarthy will get the chance to make up for the earlier miss.
He's actually switched out in the wing, Darragh. Brian O'Mara, Michael Breen has gone back into the corner. I was making that point earlier. They're very, very flexible in terms of how they play. Hopefully now Darragh slots this one just to settle him down. Great to see a young player coming into the team and taking on that responsibility, being given the responsibility of the frees, which in the modern game you need to be scoring 9 out of 10 anyway.
So that's a big one for him, and he's got that one. Darragh McCarthy from Toomey Vara. So Robbie O'Flynn kind of scuffed that a bit. Garrod O'Connor. And this is from right on halfway, and it's been kept in play. Oh, and a mistake. Cork panicked a little bit. Goal chance. They'll take the point though. They'll take the point, and Darragh McCarthy was on hand. He wanted a goal. He got the point out of it though. 2 in a row for him. Yeah,
it was Sean Keneally did very, very well. Brought it back into play. Good footwork here by McCarthy. Just whizzed over the bar. If you watch here, I think it was a bit of a mix-up.
Yeah.
The goalie was going to pick it up. Niall O'Leary pulled on it. Ends up over the bar.
So Cork's lead down to a point. Darragh Fitzgibbon not under a huge amount of pressure at puck-out time. There's that run again from Jack O'Connor. He goes, as Michael said, from one wing to the other. Good defending, though, by Robert Doyle. And Robert's been fouled as well by his direct opponent, Jack O'Connor.
See him just give a little tug there, the hurl.
So Owen Connolly is a specialist with the long-range frees. There's no wind, no breeze, no nothing, so he'll fancy this, but it's actually going to drop short. Now, it's a dangerous one for the defenders, but the defence held firm. Owen Downey there, and then Patrick Collins able to get rid of the ball. Precise pass, Tim O'Mahony. Kieran Joyce had a glance up the field, and he saw the movement was kind of coming down the Cork right-hand side. Ball squirts loose. Ethan Toomey can't get it under control. Robbie Cotter is from Blackrock, and off he goes. He's no stick, though, and now it's Brian Hayes, and that is going to be tight, but it's wide.
Yeah, Robbie Cotter did really well there. And Brian Hayes a long way out from goal, just drifted wide.
Cork, of their total of 1-6, have had 7 different scorers. Joe Caesar just kind of stabbed at that. Didn't work out, though. Cormac O'Brien for Cork. Shane Barrett, nice movement, and he's dragged Ronan Maher out of the middle, and off goes Barrett. He's very quick, and Maher can't keep going. Here's an opportunity. That's a really fine save. It's gone straight up in the air. Brian O'Mara put the hand up after it, and Barry Hogan did well. Could have gone anywhere as he made the stop to deny Barrett the goal. Robbie O'Flynn of Cork. Jason Ford just pulling after that. That's Owen Downey. Slick from Cork again, but there was a brilliant block in there. It may have been from Willie Connors, but just took the sting out of the shot. Michael Breen. Joe Caesar. Chance for them to go direct. Sean Keneally. He's from Moneygall, and he's got a line ball for Tipperary. It's all very tight in there, and Darren McCarthy, brilliant stick work from McCarthy, and he's got free from 38 metres away. Darren McCarthy. It's his 4th point.
Yeah, 3 for play. What a start. Look at this for ball worker, skill, kept his eye on the ball, fearless, lovely finish. Shane Barrett here, you can just see that, as you mentioned, his pace is unbelievable, and a very good save there by Barry Hogan, got down to his left-hand side. But that's what happens. Joe Caesar was caught up the field, left that space for Barrett to run into. He's unmarkable when he gets that sort of space.
Well, there may have been a push in the back on the Cork man, but the referee didn't see it that way. You know, 3 against 1 for Tip works out in their favour. Joe Caesar. Sean Keneally just helped off the ball by Niall O'Leary. It's a good battle between the two of them. Ethan Toomey doesn't have the ball anymore, and Tip working hard to turn it over. That was Craig Morgan. Now the ball squirts out the back. Here goes Darren McCarthy. He's on fire this evening. McCarthy forced wide, and McCarthy scores for Tipperary. He's only 19 years of age, and you can see why they rate him so highly around here.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying there. Niall O'Leary having a battle, you say, with Keneally, but and he's doing well in it. But on the other side, Darren McCarthy is absolutely going to town. So Cork now have a dilemma: do they make a switch? O'Leary is doing well on the other corner, but Darren McCarthy is on fire, and he's on Jerry Mellerick, and Cork going to have to make a call on that.
Darren has scored the last 4 points in the game in the space of 5 minutes. Darragh Fitzgibbon.
Tip's brand of hurling's impressed me tonight. It's very simple. It's win the ball, one hand pass, maybe out of trouble, then move it. And that's, you know, it's traditional first-time hurling. It's suiting them. Cork maybe a little bit more passing around the middle, which suits their style of running game.
Nothing moves faster on the field than the ball. Here's Gerard O'Connor. And that's too close to Kieran Joyce. So Ronan Maher read where that was going, and he's got out there ahead of Shane Barrett. But that is a risky one for Brian O'Mara, and it allows the Cork forwards to pounce. Well, almost. But the pass was risky from Ronan Maher to Brian O'Mara. And you could just see Robbie O'Flynn. He knew as it was in flight there was a chance. Tip let it go long. Cormac O'Brien. Owen Downey. Well, that went over the head of Willie Connors. He just lost the flight of it. Ethan Toomey. Micheál Mullins. He likes that. He's hit that beautifully, right out of the sweet spot. Micheál Mullins. Lovely score, brings them level. That's their first in 8 minutes, actually.
Yeah, he's a lovely hurler. Dara, he starred for the Cork under-20s 2 years ago when they won the All-Ireland. Brilliant athlete. He was midfield in that team, but you can see with his range of skill and speed, he can play anywhere.
So Barry Hogan again, just firing it up there. Darren McCarthy pulled on that on the ground. Shane Barrett, indeed, of Cork, and they let the ball go long and into the wide area. Absolutely brilliant from Brian Hayes to win the ball. And then again, look at the Tipperary defenders, how hard they are working when they don't have the ball to get it back, and they've managed to turn it over successfully. Garrod O'Connor, and the referee didn't like the challenge from the Cork man, so it's a free for Tipperary.
Yeah, great teamwork there by Tip. As you said there, the two lads with the white helmets closed in because that ball was over the top. There was a big lot of space inside, but you'll see here, great block down there by Michael Breen.
Yeah.
The slap there.
So Owen Connolly did try from further, well, it was kind of around the same distance, a little bit further to the right. Here's Garrod O'Connor. He's on his own 45-metre line. Opens the shoulders, and that is, well, the tip man ended up on the ground. You saw that as the ball was in flight. It's gone wide.
It's the danger with those frees. You just try to hit them that little bit harder, out of range. Sometimes they go over, but generally that's it, they drift away.
Oh, that's a wonderful take by Craig Morgan, and Morgan lets it off to Willie Connors, and Willie Connors draws that in beautifully. So the two midfielders combine. You catch it, I'll score it. That's the message from Craig Morgan and Willie Connors. They lead again.
Yeah, that's a new look midfield partnership for Tip. Very hard working, very pacey, very strong. I like to look at him. It's early in the year, but going well.
All very tight over there for Micheál Mullins. Mullins perfectly timed. He ended up on the ground. Dara Fitzgibbon, he's okay. Fitzgibbon still going. There's open road in front of him, and Tipperary can't get near him. Dara Fitzgibbon, like a racehorse, puts that between the post. That's a wonderful score. How much ground did he cover?
He covered about 70-80 yards, but it's going to be a yellow card here, I'd say, for Tipperary. The late tackle. The ref has gone over to, I presume he's gone over to the linesman now to pick up on it.
Yeah, the linesman has made his opinion known. So Craig Morgan, you saw the coming together with Micheál Mullins.
Mullins showed a lot of maturity there for young fella. He saw him coming too, so he gave the pass, but he made sure he turned his shoulder and hip and took the belt. It was late, but not too malicious, a yellow card.
So Sean Keneally was tracking back, and he had to run a long way. So Sean is all right.
Corner forwards don't like that.
Yeah.
We didn't anyway.
Which part?
That chased him back 150 yards, and that's someone else's job.
Well, he's got to get back into position. Really good from Cormac O'Brien. He's playing well. So is Robbie O'Flynn. That's a great catch by Owen Connolly. He's from Cashel. Alan Tynan from Tipperary. Now Sean Keneally, remember, he was getting treatment down in front of his own goal and hadn't got back into position. He's put that one wide though.
Yeah, he doesn't look 100% there, to be honest.
Yeah, Tip may have to make a change, and Micheál Mullins enjoying the company of Willie Connors. Micheál Mullins used to play with Whitechurch in Cork, so this is his first game as a Glen Rovers player. He transferred to the Glen. Well, that's really good from Jason Ford. and the referee spotted a chop in there that he didn't like. And I think it was Ethan Toomey who was at fault there. So another opportunity for Darragh McCarthy. Or was it Owen Downey here? Have a look.
No, I don't think it was that one, Darragh. That was fine. It was when he took possession, I think there was a slap across him. That was a good interception. If he got that on the angle, it was a lovely run. And as you said about Jason Ford, simple thing, came out, covered the ball brilliantly, got possession, won the free.
Darragh McCarthy. Another good conversion from him. Tips with that 1-point lead. Tim O'Mahony just spotted a gap, and again, he doesn't need a second invitation. Still going, but been tracked by Jake Morris. Good turnover and good tackle from Brian O'Mara. Jake Morris got the goal in the 4th minute, and the referee, first time we've seen it this evening, does Gearóid O'Connor for over-carrying the ball.
Yeah, if Jake Morris did well, which he did brilliantly, tracking back, because Tim O'Mahony sold a lovely little feint there and was gone. He tracked back brilliantly, but you saw 4 Cork players then tracking back on O'Connor, and he overcarried.
Darragh Fitzgibbon. Got the last Cork point in this match. This from with the angle, 65 metres, and it's a routine point for Darragh Fitzgibbon. Teams level again. Shorter puck out, Willie Connors. When they've done this and just kept it fairly straightforward, they have been effective, but they didn't take Ger Mellerick into account there. Micheál Mullins picks up the loose ball and Mellerick's on it again. Cork go up towards Brian Hayes. Behind him was Michael Breen. And last to touch that was the Tip defender. Although, I don't know, is the linesman that sure? The crowd over there, the Tipperary supporters, didn't like the call, but it has gone Cork's way. So Darragh Fitzgibbon was waiting for the movement. Ethan Toomey was pushed in the back. Gearóid O'Connor looks disgusted. But in this kind of a position, something like that is going to be punished.
You can see it's a nudge in the back. They're very frustrating for management of players, because look where the ball is. He's heading away from the goals into the corner flag. Even if he gets possession, he's under pressure. And, you know, that's it. At this level, those frees are tapped over. Darragh Fitzgibbon again stepping up to take the frees. No Patrick Horgan, no Conor Lahan, and but he's such a brilliant player. You know, it's not something that I would have associated with him over the years. But
Patrick Horgan is on the bench for Cork this evening. That is another point for Cork and for Darragh Fitzgibbon. Patrick came on the last day, by the way, but he didn't take the frees. So Darragh has that gig for now. Three out of the last 4 points have been scored by Cork here in Semple Stadium. That's out for Sean Keneally with Niall O'Leary. Ball is finally in the hands, or well, it was, of Darragh McCarthy, and Niall O'Leary, another turnover for him. Kieran Joyce, that challenge looked right on the edge. The referee is the hand up to play advantage. Cork will want to play on, and we're going to go back for the free. Free out for Cork.
And Niall O'Leary is absolutely glued to Sean Keneally, and then he got back and dispossessed Darragh McCarthy as well. That was high.
Now the Tipperary defence just switched off a bit. Robbie O'Flynn, you cannot give him that amount of space. Simple game when they do it like that. Tip have had a few of those nice direct moves as well. Cork can do it all night long if needed.
Yeah, great ball, though, straight into his hand, as you say. It was his movement as well. He created the opportunity by making the run, finished it very nicely over the bar.
Cork have got the last 3 in a row with just over 3 minutes to go to half-time. Jason Ford with his studs kind of got stuck in the turf. Nice pirouette from Owen Downey, and another one. And he just seemed to cut across that with the stick. Anyway, Cormac O'Brien, who's been lively all the way through. Another push in the back, and that time it was Darren McCarthy. So Liam Cahill, as Michael says, will be frustrated with the concession of those kind of frees. Okay, this one a lot further out, but it's just a sort of cheap one to give away.
It is, and they're annoying because, you know, there's only a little, not much in it. There's nothing malicious, but they're just, it's a push, that's it. And he done the hard work. He covered an awful lot of ground to close him down.
Dara Fitzgibbon topping the ball in front of Jack O'Connor. They've turned it over, though. Cork were a little too casual. And we go back for the free. Gerard O'Connor had, well, the referee decided there wasn't enough of an advantage in front of him, so it's a Tipperary free just outside their own 45-metre line.
He has a lot of options inside. Cork have an extra man back there. There's no one really shown, so he's been forced now to take the shot.
Jason Ford is on the 20-metre line. And Cork, as Michael said, have dropped that player back, but it's a mistake. It's come straight to Jason Ford, and he was the quickest to react, and that's what all brilliant forwards do. They expect the right thing and the good thing to happen. The back down went straight to Jason Ford, and he scored easily.
Yeah, Kieran Joy should have caught that ball. There was nobody near him, and batted it down. That can lead to goals. It was a poor decision.
Now Robbie Cotter ends up on the ground. That was not a foul. Jack O'Connor gets the ball into the right hand. He's been forced out the field and, well, tried to be a little bit too clever, and it's taken back for Tipperary by Brian O'Mara. They are trailing by a point. Just about a minute to go. Here goes Darragh McCarthy with Ger Mellerick. McCarthy has to turn back around. Jason Ford scored the last one, and Ford can't repeat the dose.
Yeah, it gets the free in, though.
Yeah, he has the free in.
Darragh McCarthy has been on fire in the first half. A little bit of descent there now as well, but he's shown so well. He's out in front. His first touch is very good, and shown a nice different range. He can go left or right, and he's won a couple of frees. He scored 4 from play and 2 frees, so what a half he's had.
I thought for a moment Jason Ford was going to take that. Actually, he was just kind of loitering over near the spot where Darragh McCarthy has placed the ball on the ground, but it's Darragh's gig. And the teams are level for the 4th time. 7 points in total for Darragh McCarthy. There will be 2 added minutes. So Tip have got the last 2. Robbie O'Flynn, nice pick from him to bring the ball under control, and then it's just up for a one-on-one battle. We've seen loads of those this evening. Players trusting their teammates further up the field that they will win the ball if they play it to them. Tipperary have got a free, which Willie Connors has certainly taken already, and that hangs up in the night sky. Jake Morris was there. Well, there's no foul there, and surging out with the ball is Tim O'Mahony. O'Mahony lost control of it. Again, Tipperary working real hard to try and win the ball back. Gerard O'Connor just pulled on that, and he's tugged it wide.
Yeah, it was the wrong option. I think Darragh McCarthy was fouled there. We've been talking about pushes on the back. He went straight out over him, and Liam Cahill very frustrated there, you could say the least.
Micheál Mullen swapping to this side. Tim O'Mahony was caught. Again, Tipperary working very hard when they don't have the ball. They actually are going to have to work again because they ain't got it anymore now. Ethan Toomey, slick from Cork. Tim O'Mahony. They just love that ball. Robbie Cotter out, couldn't claim it first time. It's gone loose, and Willie Connors is surging after that. Robbie Cotter has got it back, so it goes one way then the other. It's very much Cork's way now as Robbie Cotter loses control of the ball. Now Ronan Marr. And Tip on the attack now up towards Darragh McCarthy. McCarthy with Ger Mellerick takes on the shot. The Tip crowd love that, and this fella is an absolute star, isn't he? Darren McCarthy, just 19.
And that's brilliant feet, brilliant skill. But you have to give great credit to the tip backs as well. Ronan Maher, what a man to get possession in tight positions. Looks up, gave a little hand pass, a lovely ball into space, and what a great first half.
Super first half. It went one way, then the other. Cork leading by 2 after 3 points in a row. Tipperary have finished like a train with 3 of their own unanswered. They lead at half-time against Cork by 112 to 111. Back in a couple of minutes.
With traffic at an all-time high, our driving standards at a new low.
It's not good news for safety on Irish roads. It looks like the quality of driving is getting worse.
As cameras to catch drivers breaking red lights are set to come in, reckless driving puts lives at risk.
Driver behaviour is absolutely shocking now at the moment. They just don't seem to give a damn about anybody else.
And it's not just motorists dicing with danger. Red light, green light, prime time, Tuesday, 9:35, RTE1 and RTE Player.
Just keep showing up. You won't regret it. Yep.
Well, did you hear the big guys out? So our man is in.
Congrats.
And they've called in cover from the provinces.
Hello?
Hello?
Woo! See ya.
So?
That's had a knock-on effect on the clubs. First are taken from seconds, seconds are taken from thirds, and thirds from fourths.
And
the fourths are taking you out of retirement.
Bank of Ireland, proud sponsor of Irish rugby.
Why go out when you can stay in? With award-winning shows from Sky.
I like to win.
This is gonna change everything.
Bingo. And Netflix. Streamed over Sky's 99.9% reliable broadband. All for our new low price, now only €45 a month.
It's just the beginning.
That's the joy of staying in. Search Sky Deals.
I'm an All-Ireland winning footballer for Tyrone.
I've won 8 with Kilkenny.
I've 6 All-Ireland clubs.
I'm a double All-Star.
Me too.
I'm a gambling addict.
I'm a gambling addict.
Me too.
If you take 2 things from this ad,
know that you are not alone.
And there is help for you.
At the Irish Independent, we don't just cover sport. We tell the stories written all over Ireland. After all, each struggle, triumph, high and low, leaves a mark that lasts. We live and breathe the stories, written all over Ireland. Irish Independent.
Harvey Norman, your home of the big screen. Catch all the action with our range of LG OLED TVs. Watch the game unfold on the LG OLED Evo 48-inch TV with ultra-vibrant colours and adaptive sound for $1,099. Upgrade to the 55-inch with exceptional clarity for every play for $1,299. Supersize for the big game with the 65-inch for a larger screen for $1,799. And with our best price guarantee, why shop anywhere else? Harvey Norman, your home of the big screen.
Go!
We love better value at Dunnes Stores. Treat yourself with delicious flavours of Tato occasions. Now, half price. Start your day right with Kellogg's Crunchy Nut and Frosties, also half price. And mix and match any 2 for €20 on a fantastic range of household essentials. Plus, save with a till with a 5 off 25 grocery voucher. Dunnes Stores. Always better value.
Really, really good first half. Lovely catch from Valentine and once of Munster Rugby, and Jake Morris off out of the traps, low to the back of the Cork net. but Cork responded fairly soon afterwards. Shane Barrett with all the work. What a pass, what an offload. Brian Hayes back of the net. Great game here in Semple Stadium. 1-12 to Tipperary, 1-11 to Cork. It's been a very, very hearty contest so far, lads.
Yeah, it's a great game. Very, very enjoyable, you know. And I mean, Darren McCarthy had 222 got coming into this game, only 1 point from play, and people were saying maybe he's not contributing. I mean, 5 points in play in that first half. He's just been a joy to watch. He's been fantastic. Jake, how many times have we seen him against Cork teams come in off that side, finish to the net? And Cork up this end look really, really dangerous as well. So a really enthralling contest for this time of the year in that first half.
What's impressed you most about Cork, Anthony?
Early on, they looked a bit like the Limerick game. They looked like they were flying. They were at championship speed, and maybe Tip couldn't cope. But slowly but surely, the Tip backs have got tight and stickier, and they've got on top, really.
Jake Morris goal, a thing of beauty. Talk me through it, lads, please.
Yeah, well, look, I think it's very poor defending, first of all. I mean, it's just...
So it's not a thing of beauty at all?
Well, it's a great finish, like, but he's trademark. But nobody goes up with Alan whatsoever. And even as quick as Dara Fitzgibbon is, he can't catch Jake Morris. But, I mean, no challenge in the air now. Overall, Cormac O'Brien has done well, but again, though, what you'd be coaching young lads to do, Damien Lowe, and hops it right in front of Collins. And
his underage career is based on those goals, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that's his trademark, and he'd love breaking onto a ball like that. Pop it to me, you won't catch it.
You mentioned before the game about the burners that Cork had in attack, and my God, they have proved it with lightning runs so far in that first half, Liam.
Yeah, they have. They're a very, very dangerous team, and like Shane Barrett is so good to drift off, and like they'll suck other defenders out, and that's what he loves. Shane Barrett loves a one-on-one, and in fairness, I think Tip are well positioned. You know, Mikey Breen is able to get across, and Barry Hogan makes a great save, but at least they had men behind the ball, which gave them a chance to defend it. And you know, here's Micheál Mullins coming up the side, and you know, again, they just all the time moving at pace off the shoulder, and Darragh Fitzgibbon puts on the burners this time, and poor old Shawnee Kennelly, he doesn't like being up this side inside the 45, but he stays going and stays chasing, and you can see the intent with Tipperary. Look at how many blue and gold jerseys there is in the
So
picture.
Is that the difference compared to last May?
Yeah, I think they're a better structure. They're not all dragged out. I think it's important.
But the poke out as well there, though. You know, you can't allow Tim O'Mahony that much space. But as Liam pointed out, Barrett, all the pace inside. What a flick, as you said in the introduction. You know, to have the vision in the tightest little space to pick out, and Hayes then just takes a step.
I think we underappreciate to execute that at speed as well is incredible. There's a ding-dong battle going on in the right corner. We're loving it from here. Gerald Mellerick versus that young Darragh McCarthy. Talk us through the opening bouts of the...
Yeah, like, look, early on, I like Mellerick as a man marker. I think at this stage, though, he started great. He was reading the play. You see here a lovely angle ball up from the fence, but he's reading it. He's out in front. Darragh's behind him and he's not. But look, we know all about Darragh McCarthy from underage and from the Harty Cup last year with Nina. And, you know, Liam mentioned there that maybe the points in play weren't coming, but look, today he's looked so sharp. And at this stage, you know, I think Pat Ryan might have a call to make, whether to swap Niall O'Leary over on him or make a change, because Gerard's struggling to stay with him, and some of his scores have been fantastic. And by contrast, at the other end of the field, we thought Robert Doyle early on was under a bit of pressure with Jack O'Connor, and he has come to terms brilliantly.
I'd make the point to you that Gerald Mellerick is staying right beside him, but Darragh's still getting the shot away.
Yeah, I mean, he's able to turn in the sixpence. I mean, this score is just, I mean, this is magic. You know, in fairness, like as you said, Gerald Mellerick doesn't do a lot wrong. He pushes him out to the side, but he's just able to, you know, there's very few players, Owen Kelly and some players, are able to step onto their back foot and put the ball over the bar, and that's what he did there. So like, that's an exceptional talent. But I think you're right. Niall O'Leary probably has the better Sean Kennelly in the other corner. So the question is, will he shift him across? And after 5 points, I think it's time to move.
Okay, let's see how the pieces on the chessboard are rearranged at half-time. Stay with us, back in just a few moments' time.
Who will shine the brightest? Dancing with the Stars Orchestra Week, Sunday at 6:30 on RTE1 and RTE Player.
Winning the lotto was amazing, but you can never forget his.
William, do you want anything from the shop?
Yeah, well, it was 7 million. Shed love, don't you?
The National Lottery. It could be you.
Life moves too fast. Precious moments last longer on a short break at Centre Parks.
It's like strawberries on a summer evening. You're the end of June. I want your belly and that summer feeling. I don't know if I could ever go.
The all-electric Kia EV3.
Kia, movement that inspires.
1 month free on 48 Mobile made Billy feel amazing, as did unlimited 5G data for only $12.99 a month. 48 Mobile, good call.
Babies' clothes need extra care, something to help tackle tough stains and stay gentle next to their delicate skin. That's why our Personal and Comfort #1 Sensitive Duo has a formulation especially developed for sensitive skin. Approved by our experts, loved by parents, and the most sensitive judges of all. For clean and soft results, use Personal Non-Bio Liquid and Comfort Pure, our #1 Sensitive Duo.
Are you a man? Do you have hair? Then fight for your hair with Alpecin Caffeine Shampoo from Germany. Engineered with a special caffeine formula, used daily and leave on for 2 minutes. Alpecin Caffeine Shampoo. Fight for your hair.
This offer is too good to last in the Virgin Media Playhouse. Switch broadband now and get €100 off your bill, our Wi-Fi guarantee included for free with our fastest broadband speeds and no activation fee. That's uninterrupted Wi-Fi, guaranteed everywhere in your home. Now available only at virginmedia.ie. Virgin Media, it's playtime.
Very welcome back to FBD Semple Stadium. It's very, very even the whole way through in terms of stats. Everything is almost level. One thing that does stick out is the Tipperary puck out over the last few years has been criticised, but definitely holding its own there with a Cork puck out that has been praised over the last few years. So, Liam, if you're Pat Ryan or if you're Liam Cahill, would you do anything differently now for the second half? Dylan Walsh is in for Sean Kennelly, a corner forward. In general, what would you do if you're either manager?
Well, I think Liam Cahill would be delighted. I mean, they were 2 points down coming into half-time. They got the last 3 scores of the half, so they're going a point up. And I think psychologically that's a big thing.
Okay.
I think Pat Ryan will be disappointed because they've been doing a bit of messing, I think, up here in this forward line. Like, they had some chances, they were flicking the ball, and I just thought that they were silly mistakes that they made, and they've had a heavy price for them. So they ought to play for a big 10 minutes now for both teams, I think, at the start of the second half.
You said to me beforehand that Tipperary really, well, could do with a win tonight, more so than Cork. Are they set up for it now, do you think?
I think they have a great chance. There is a slight wind probably favouring Cork now, but it's not a match-winning win by any means. I think Pat Ryan has a call to make now on the cornerback issue. As the late great Bishop Willie Walsh, who we lost this week, used to say, if your man gets 2 points in play, it might be your fault. If he gets 5, it's our fault, on the sideline. So I think, does he keep looking at that? He needs to move somewhere there. Damien Callahan, maybe.
Is this a chance for you, though, to show your trust in Ger Mellerick now? Because Ger Mellerick's a tried and trusted performer.
Absolutely, but some nights it's not just, maybe you just deserve a move.
Yeah.
Go to the other corner, go in full, whatever, you know.
And I'd also say, Damon, the quality of ball going into the inside line in Tip is much better than the quality of ball going in. Like Brian Hayes and Mikey Breen, everything is 50-50 going in there, and it's hard to get a break. Now, early on I thought Cork were putting it in well, but in the last 20 minutes, I think so it'll be interesting to see the supply into the full forward line, because if that full forward line gets good ball, they are very, very impressive.
And to give credit, and early on I thought they were being overrun. Willie Connors and Craig Morgan, they have settled into the game on the two lads of midfield.
So are they kind of blocking those darting runs from the Cork midfield half-forward line inwards?
Well, more so, I'd say, Damien, they're getting on more ball. We've seen them more involved and playing good balls up to their own forwards, which at midfield, I suppose some of that is just down to that. If whoever midfield gets on more ball, the forwards are going to be happier because they'll be getting more ball.
And it's a big night for that Tip midfield as well. Both experienced players in their own right, both very experienced club players too, but trying to nail down those midfield slots for the season ahead.
Yeah, but I think, as Anthony said earlier on, it was a great vote of confidence to give them the jersey again tonight, because, as you said, they had a tough day against Limerick, but they're showing their value again here tonight. I think they're rewarding Liam Cahill with the way they played in that first half, because to break even, and I think they might be slightly ahead with two players like Tim O'Mahony and Dara Fitzgibbon is good. So, you know, I think it's a big 10 or 15 minutes now for both teams to see who can stamp their authority on this game.
Young Micheál Mullins, how do you feel the first half went for him, and what a pedigree he has?
Yeah, his father Mickey was a famous Harty Cup player for the Northmon, and
Minor 2021.
Yeah, and he has joined the Glen. Obviously, he's a big addition to Tomas Mulcahy's team going up Premier Senior. I think he's played well. He's played well. He's been involved. He's got a good point. He made a good run up along there to create the chance. I think they'll be very happy with him so far.
Final word for you, Liam. Dylan Walsh coming in. He'll be almost as direct as Darren McCarthy. So that's another little ace in Liam Cahill's pack potentially.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was outstanding up against Galway, you know. So I think, you know, he's going to be really, really fine. So it'll be interesting to see how Niall O'Leary copes with him, or if he switched. So, you know, an exciting second half coming here, David.
Can't wait. Back to you, Dara and Michael.
Damien, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, Dylan Walsh is back after injury, and he is into the team instead of Sean Keneally. So that's the only change. Cork stay with the same 15 that started the game. And they find themselves trailing as the second half begins. Robbie O'Flynn just jabbed at that and then tried to hurdle his direct opponent. That was interesting. Cormac O'Brien just hops the ball in front of Robbie Cotter. He's very quick, elusive, good block down, but the referee decided that he was being pulled back. Robert Doyle free in Cork.
Yeah, a little pull back. I think Tipperary not happy again that they didn't get a free there, maybe for jumping through the air there. Robbie O'Flynn, I don't think he can leave the ground like that.
Yeah.
Darragh Fitzgibbon very clever there as well. If he saw he was going to be knocked out over the line, he just dropped the ball back in play, just again showing fierce composure under pressure.
So here is Darragh. And that's a nice one to start the second half with and bring the teams level for the 5th time. So Barry Hogan gets the ball back in motion. That was as clear a push as you'll see from Micheál Mullins on Jake Morris, who got the tip goal in the first half. The attendance here, by the way, we knew it was going to be a good crowd, 11,357.
Yeah, great distribution there from Barry Hogan. We talked about Patrick Collins in the first half. He placed a couple of great balls straight into the hand. Again, Jake Morris, space left there, and he runs into it and fouled. And here's this man, Darren McCarthy again,
who scored 8 points in the first half, 5 from play. And he matches what Darragh Fitzgibbon did just a few seconds before. So 9 for Darragh. So Cormac O'Brien is trusted at puck-out time by Patrick Collins. Ger Mellerick, that was right in front of Liam Cahill, and he thought the ball was fouled there. Owen Connolly, all very tight. Willie Connors helps him out. And Cork getting their tackles in, but they've been a little too vigorous. Referee had the arm up for the advantage and decides, right, let's give the free to Willie Connors, who scored 1 point in the first half. And Owen Connolly and Brian Hayes are two giants of men, and it's kind of the irresistible force, immovable object thing. But you should just let that fizzle out. The linesman was in. It's all calmed down again. Owen Connolly with a huge belt of the ball. That's going to drop right down, and it's picked up by Patrick Collins. Just got rid of it out to Robbie O'Flynn. Robbie couldn't pick it first time. Garrod O'Connor gets free. Garrod loves that one. That's absolutely super from Garrod O'Connor. 2 for him tonight. It's a big night for him. Needs a big game, and he started the second half well.
Yeah, he used his strength very well there. Wasn't afraid to take on his man, and great strike off his left side. Yeah, he's had a couple of big years with UL, but as you said, you know, really under pressure to start delivering with Tip now on a regular basis.
He's another big, powerful man in this Tip team. Speaking of which, there's Ronan Marr, and Ethan Toomey just wouldn't let him get away.
Yeah, I mentioned in the first half, he's unbelievable in those positions. He's such an ability to get down low and get in over the ball, and you can see him being pulled back there.
So Owen Connolly, this could be on. Now, what about that one? Well, it was just short, but you can make up your own mind as to whether or not that's a good idea. When they go over, it's great, but maybe something different required.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. There are 3 or 4 of them now. They should be sprayed into the, up the wing and into space.
They've been tried, but leave it there. This is Jason Ford, and Jason Ford had space, and we know from years and years and years of watching that guy, if you're not tight enough to him, he'll convert. And Tip lead by 3. They've got the last 3 in a row.
Yeah, he's tipping away lovely and quietly, isn't he? 3 points from play. We know Owen Downey how good he is, and Jason just been very, very economical with his possession and scoring.
Owen Connolly wins the Cork puck out. And he's going to, well, he was going to run up the field and chase that ball, but Jeremy Mellerick is there. Mellerick's won a couple of possessions at the start of the second half, and Dara Fitzgibbon ends up on the ground. It's kind of niggly start to the second half, isn't it?
Yeah, Owen Connolly there again, we talked about discipline. Like, there was no need for him to follow through with the late tackle there. He went up the field as well. He's just a little bit too fired up. And there's a balancing act there. You know, you're back full back now, you're on the yellow card. Puts himself under pressure for the rest of the game.
So Tim O'Mahony from Newtown Shandrum will take this free for Cork. They're being outscored 3-1 since the match restarted. And Jack O'Connor just couldn't hold on to that. Robert Doyle has lost his stick, so he'll just try and make a nuisance of himself. Brian Hayes, well, they managed to get the ball off his stick, but Hayes, from a standing start, generated a lot of power. Alan Tynan can't get into his stride. Owen Downey and others made sure of that.
There's great intensity in it, Dara, for a league match. You know, Owen Connolly again there bursting out that ball. Some great defending. A couple of stupid frees really is the only thing that I said both teams here.
Oh, look at this. Garrod O'Connor is in an awful lot of space. Dara Fitzgibbon couldn't close him down. Well, Cork managed to get away with the immediate danger, and they really did get away with one there, because there was a hole right down the middle of their defence. Kieran Joyce scrambling just to get rid of that. Micheál Mullins, he slotted in real nice in that number 5 jersey for Cork this evening. And Tip a little standoffish. That was for Robbie O'Flynn, and it's a wonderful take by Ronan Marr on home turf here, the Thurles man, and they love him around these parts. Here is Dylan Walsh. Walsh has got the ball up on the stick and in his left hand, and a really good block down. Kieran Joyce picks up the loose ball. That is a very loose pass from him. Garrod O'Connor. Garrod scored a spectacular point not so long ago, and he's got another one, and he is having that big game now.
Absolutely a poor ball out by Kieran Joyce, punished immediately by Garrod O'Connor. Jerry Melrick has moved on to onto Dylan Walsh now, and I'm just trying to see, it's actually McCarthy's gone to full forward now. He's on Owen Downey, and Jason Ford moved out to field.
So Brian Hayes attempting to pick that. Ethan Toomey has it. Dara Fitzgibbon didn't get the necessary strike on that, but Jack O'Connor has picked it up. Brilliant from O'Connor. O'Connor for Cork. Wonderful challenge. Was there a free? Yeah, there's a free into Cork. It's gone against Robert Doyle. The referee was playing the advantage, but you just follow the ball and follow Jack O'Connor. And it didn't work out for him in the end, but we go back for the free. Robert Doyle penalised here.
Yeah, look, I love them one-on-one ball. It gives the forward a great chance. Jack O'Connor headed straight for the goal. He was pulled straight away. Good block afterwards by Robert Doyle. And to give Robert Doyle credit, he was under fierce pressure in the first 10 minutes, but he stuck to his task very, very well. But Jack O'Connor did well there. I'm looking back. Niall O'Leary now is actually on Darren McCarthy, and Robert Downey is following Jason Ford. That move was made, obviously needed after the first half McCarthy had.
Patrick Horgan's going to come in for Cork, and Dara Fitzgibbon will probably stay on the freeze. That's what happened the last day when Patrick came on, but we'll see. Patrick has the tracksuit top and bottom off, and he's ready to come in. Cork's 2 points since we restarted are both Fitzgibbon frees. Here's Garrod O'Connor, who is growing into a bigger influence on this game as the seconds pass. Two Cork men, it took the two of them. Shane Barrett had helped to dispossess him. Robbie O'Flynn. O'Flynn just scoops the ball forward, and again there's that work rate. Joe Caesar for Tipperary. They're working really hard when they don't have the ball. This is Dylan Walsh now. Walsh never got sufficient purchase on that. He was under a fair bit of pressure. Mellerick is on the ground, and the crowd getting more involved as this game ramps up in intensity.
Yeah, two great blocks by Mellerick on Dylan Walsh at the start second half. Darren McCarthy comes in here, nudge on the back again, or on the side. Jerry Mellerick is hurt after that.
So Robbie Cotter is going off. Patrick Horgan is in. Patrick Collins with the Cork free. Horgan has gone right in it, full forward, closest to the Tipperary goal. Nice spin out from Craig Morgan. 2 to aim at. Cork have got an extra defender back there, Jason Ford. There were plenty of options off him. Here is Jake Morris, chance for him to run at Cork. Robbie, and now it's Alan Tynan. Tim O'Mahony got to stick to it. Tynan's been really good. That's superb from Alan Tynan. Great score from Tipperary. They are hungry for this. They're up for it. They lead by 4.
Yeah, he's been very good in open play. Hasn't scored, but showed great confidence there in himself. Took on his man, had the composure then to wait until he got the opening, and slots over a great score.
So Patrick Collins thought about going long. Ethan Toomey had run nearly from one side of the field to the other, but he's back in position now, and there is Toomey with the ball in his left hand for Cork. Took a lot of steps with that. Dara Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon launches it long. Brian O'Mara, well, his touch gave it straight to Patrick Horgan. Horgan's on the field about half a minute. Gets his point. You can just feel this continuing to ramp up.
Yeah, look at the way he was moving out, circling around, waiting for the break. It's a natural instinct. You can't coach that, really. He was just waiting for the... He was circling out around. If somebody wanted, he could have taken the pass off him, but he just picked it up and tapped it over.
It's a league debut for Dermot Healy, wearing number 23. Jake Morris. It's a really inviting ball for the forwards. Dylan Walsh couldn't get it under control. Runs through to Patrick Collins. Micheál Mullins, he has covered a lot of ground. He's had a lot of possessions going from one wing to the other, and look at the pace. Dermot Healy kept that away from Ronan Marr. squirts in towards Patrick Horgan, and Horgan is on his way. Horgan being pulled back, almost rugby tackled. You could have seen a few of those in Cardiff today, but Patrick Horgan is making his presence felt already for Cork.
Yeah, great pick up and turn. There's going to be a yellow card here. You know, he's an amazing athlete, really. Apart from the great hurler he is, you know, to turn himself out in this condition year after year, but he turns around heading for the goals, and
he's on the free.
I think it's where it is. It's a long way for Darragh Fitzgibbon to come in and try to get back out of fixture shape out the field, so he was going to tap it over.
Good point. Good point. Well, one of the greatest free takers we've ever seen is back in the groove for Cork. 2 in a row for him. So Cork are certainly emptying the bench. Here's Luke Meade. Tim O'Mahony going the other way. There's been a lot packed into the first 14 minutes of the second half. Barry Hogan's long puck out, seeking out Jake Morris. Kieran Joyce says, no, I'll have some of that. Ethan Toomey. And now Diarmuid Healy. And Healy right down the middle. That's a really fine point from Diarmuid Healy. Remember the name.
Yeah, that's great play by Kieran Joyce, first of all. Then lovely ball by Ethan Toomey. And Diarmuid Healy, yeah, great score, lovely strike, actually, lovely action.
So Barry Hogan has been offered the short puck out, but decided to go very long past the Cork 45-metre line. What about that from Owen Downey? Majestic. They deserve a score out of that, but Tipperary will be having absolutely none of that. It's a Cork line ball.
Yeah, it's great skill here. You can see Jason Ford trying to hold him off, but the two Downies have tremendous skill for big men.
Now Brian Hayes got away from his marker. Hayes, very difficult to stop. Just wide. It's wide in the end from Brian Hayes. And the umpire got up close and personal. This is something else.
Yeah, the way he slipped his man, Owen Connolly, headed for the goals. Good work there by Michael Breen. You know, he did force him out and stayed with him and forced the error, I suppose, in the end.
Hogan's restart allowed to hop. Niall O'Leary, Diarmuid Healy. It's another possession for him since coming on. Owen Connolly and Brian Hayes, and that is a Cork ball.
Yeah, he whipped on it. I'm loving the one-on-one battles there all over the field, you know, and they're ebbing and flowing. You see Niall O'Leary now. Excuse me, Darren McCarthy hasn't got as much ball in the second half, but Niall O'Leary is glued to him like he was in the first half to Sean Keneally.
Tipperary getting ready to make another change. Barry Hogan fires the ball down into the right corner forward position, and that is Dylan Walsh who's after it. And Dylan, two Cork men around him. Well, he's slowed up their progress. Ger Mellerick, who had a tough first half, has certainly upped his game considerably in the second. Cork flinging the ball around Semple Stadium. Their last two Munster Championship wins over Tipperary, a combined total of 30 points. Last year here really hurt Tipperary, and that is from Luke Meade, and that has dropped short from Luke Meade. We were all sitting back admiring it, but Barry Hogan certainly wasn't. Now Tip go long early towards Jason Ford, and Ford just fluffing his lines. Owen Downey kind of fortunate to have the ball in his hand at all. Brian Hayes travelling a fair distance to get to the drop zone for that ball. Owen Connolly. And now Brian O'Mara. O'Mara very comfortable in these positions up the field for Tipperary, and O'Mara hasn't caught that one either. Sort of a stalemate at the moment. Tipperary leading by a point. Patrick Collins. Good stick work from Jack O'Connor. You expect nothing less. Now, what's going to happen here? The linesman is signalling that it's tip possession. Here's Ronan Marr. Nice cut now. 2 Cork defenders there against the tip man, but the tip man didn't fancy the odds, and that is just going to go wide. It's wide in the end from Alan Tynan.
Yeah, it's been tough, it's been physical. You know, with injury time, there's 20 minutes still to go, so it's going to be a real, I suppose, test of players' fitness now this early in the season as well, and use of the bench. Cork have brought on a number of subs. They're all doing well since they came on, and I think Tip will have to start bringing on a couple.
That was Tip's 4th wide. Like, really, the shooting has been, by and large, very efficient from both teams for this time of the year. Ethan Toomey, Dara Fitzgibbon, wound up for it, Fitzgibbon, and that's gorgeous. Really fabulous score. 4 in a row for Cork. They've drawn level.
And that's great wrist there, you know. Look, as you said, just a little flick of the wrist and that ball has gone sailing over the bar from 90 yards.
8 minutes since Tipperary last scored. And Cork getting ready to bring Jack Cahalane in. So Jack O'Connor is going the other way. But a lot of Cork players getting valuable minutes. And then the same from a Tipperary perspective, as they now bring Oisin O'Donoghue in wearing number 24, and it's Willie Connors who's going off. So he got a special word of congratulations from Liam Cahill as Willie came off the field. Ronan Marr, oh, he's hit that really brilliantly. No, that's a wonderful score from Ronan Marr. We've seen a number of players try now, albeit not from as far out, but that's great.
Yeah, it's a great strike. I was actually quite surprised he wasn't taking the longer ones earlier, because he is a super striker from distance.
So here's Jake Morris for Tipperary. Cork man down injured. They wanted play to be halted, but nobody was hanging around in a Tipperary shirt, and Jake Morris, who got the goal in the first half. It's 2 in a row for Tipperary. It's another scoring burst from them.
Yeah, that was Ethan Toomey got the knock. You have to give Liam Gordon credit. He's back on his feet here. He played on, and you know, he's not injured, so good refereeing there by Liam Gordon, and a great point by Jake Morris.
Michael Corcoran from Silvermines is replacing Brian O'Mara. Right down the middle for the Cork puck out. Their forwards had all moved into a sort of a spine shape. You see it with some of the football kickouts, or you used to. Brian Hayes trying to pick the ball up, but out comes Joe Caesar, who's had a very effective game in the Tipperary defence, and that's turned over. A mistake by Oisin O'Donoghue. He was under an awful lot of pressure, in fairness to him. Jack Cahalane is there wearing 25. Kieran Joyce into the space in front of Brian Hayes. His touch just let him down for once. Owen Connolly of Tipperary. Space in front of him with the give and go, and Jake Morris tried to give it back to him. Connolly out of position. Cork, in fairness, managed to put pressure on Jake Morris, and now Kieran Joyce spins out of that cluster of players. Owen Downey been put under massive pressure. The tip work rate, well, it was questioned at times last year. You can't question it here. It's massive work rate from Tipperary and from Cork. Alan Tynan has it back. Breathless stuff with 13 minutes to go. Tipperary leading by 2. And now it's Alan Tynan winding up from 67 metres away, and Tynan has dropped it short into the right hand of Patrick Collins. I haven't been keeping count of how many times they've done that, but it's several, let's say. It's 4, actually. Is that several? Anyway, it's 4. Here they come again. Tipperary, Craig Morgan. Morgan doesn't drop that one short. Brilliant, brilliant passage of play. and Tipperary just kind of, their belligerence paid off. They lead by 3.
Yeah, what work right there from both teams. Breathless, as you said in the commentary there. A great score by Craig Morgan, and what a match we have in our hands.
Tipperary came up short against Limerick. Very impressive against Galway the first day. They dispatched Wexford. But this is a big test, and well, particularly after what happened in the Munster Championship last year. There was a huge Cork support came to Semple Stadium, and they absolutely hammered Tipperary, and their turn to drop one short. Really difficult up here for us to judge what sort of a win there is. The flags down the near side touchline are all still at the moment. Here's Craig Morgan. Morgan can go left or right, goes to his right. Goal! And the goal is scored by Dylan Walsh. Well, the Cork defence, they were gone.
Yeah, just straight down the middle. He read the break well, Craig Morgan, who's been hugely impressive. But look at the simplicity of what he did, and a lovely finish. Dylan Walsh just pulled away, made room for himself. Morgan saw him. Top-class pass straight into his hand. Simple stuff when it's done right.
That's 1-3 without reply in 4 minutes from Tipperary. There's still loads of time. Ronan Marr ruling the airs and ruling the air on his home pitch, but Cork will not go quietly. You just know that, and this could go anyway. And then back again. Here's Brian Hayes. Hayes just been held up. He tried to run through his man. There was no way through. It's come back to Patrick Horgan, and Horgan just nonchalantly puts that between the posts with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, look, both teams are trying to balance, give lads game time, change things around, try players. Cork are down a lot of players, but it's a great contest, great individual battles. But just, you mentioned it earlier in the commentary, Tip have really moved forward from last year. You can see that. I know they trained really hard over the winter, and you can see that determination. I suppose they all had to come together and say, lads, this is not good enough last year, but the response has been brilliant, and the fitness levels of some of the lads that looked last year just didn't look like they were up to it, but they're up to it now, and all you can do, if you give it 100%, this type of thing happens on match day.
Yeah, Liam Cahill has got to be very pleased with that. But right now, for both Tipperary and Cork, it's about winning.
But you made Ronan Maher, like, what a game. The first 5 minutes he was under pressure. Shane Barrett got the first score, then ran at him, and but since then he has completely dominated the centre half back position, and he's won numerous possessions and used the ball so well.
So Barry Hogan gets the ball back in motion. Luke Meade involved, and Meade has given it away, and here come Tip again. Oisin O'Donoghue, and they are just flying at the moment. Confidence just pouring through their veins. 221 to 118.
Yeah, it's work rate though. You know, there was players closing in again on the ball, putting pressure on the ball, putting pressure on the man in possession. That forced the mistake.
Ethan Toomey for Cork. Well, he's down on the ground, and well, he's cradling his head. The ball, he'd lost the stick. The ball was just in front of him.
Yeah, Liam Gordon is not giving too many soft frees here tonight. So the push in the back, they're obvious. They're silly, we talked about. But outside of that, you know, the contests are tough, and he's letting it flow as much as possible. Like a great catch. You can see he got a knock there on the ground, but he wasn't fouled. The linesman has gone in now, unless he saw something that...
Well, did you see anything there on that replay? I don't know.
I didn't, to be honest with you, but...
So the consultation is over. And...
so he's got treatment, so he has to go off under this rule. He's going to throw it in. I would have thought they had possession. But
so Cormac O'Brien just trying to pick the ball up one-handed. Diarmuid Healy was very prominent when he came on. Patrick Horgan spinning away, and it's a foul by Michael Breen of Tipperary. Or is it? No, it's not Michael.
It's Michael Corcoran that came on there.
It's Michael Corcoran, yeah. So he's got a yellow card. That's the 4th yellow for Tipperary. So Brian Roach is on. His brother Owen is a cornerback. Brian's a midfielder. And is it Ethan Toomey who's gone the other way? Anyway. So that is Dara Fitzgibbon, and it just kisses the post. So Michael's point about the freeze that Patrick Horgan was taken in close. Yeah, they're going to mix that up. Dara Fitz with another score. Barry Hogan, huge puck of the ball again. Jake Morris with the reaction, brilliant from Morris, and the referee gives him the free. He was very nearly away. You could just see that burst of pace.
Yeah, he's lethal going through that space, through that gap.
That was Micheál Mullins, and he was just not letting Jake get away.
I think it was Joe Caesar who was coming on the overlap like a rocket up the wing. He's been solid, you know, quiet, in a quiet way, done really, really well at wing back tonight.
So Darren McCarthy makes it 2-22 to 119. Just over 5 minutes left. Patrick Collins lower flight on that. Again, there were 3 Tipperary men to 2 Cork men near enough to where that ball was going to drop. And then it leads to that sort of thing. Alan Tynan thought he had picked it. It's still in play. They're just kind of working their way rugby style up the line, and now they go infield. Wow, that's messy, but it's not anymore with Kieran Joyce. But the referee hasn't put the hand up for a foul. It looked like there were a couple in there. Cork on the attack. And Tipperary deal with that very nicely. And Ronan Marr, I thought initially he was going to turn into trouble, but he just turned away from everybody. Cool as you like. Cormac O'Brien has it for Cork. And he has it again. And O'Brien just shortens the stick, and Tip a little bit lopsided. They could be exposed here. This is Brian Roach. He's only on the field about a minute, and that one hits the post and comes back out into open play. Robert Doyle was quickest to react. Doyle, and they're over-elaborating here. Michael Corcoran is in trouble, and Corcoran now, Brian Hayes in, trying to dig it out. Look, a lot of these things happen at this time of the year, and that part of the pitch is kind of heavy. Jake, oh yes, what a little magic bit of skill from Jake Morris. Now that is going to drop in front of Mullins, and Mullins hits the deck, but he's okay. Darren McCarthy, it was a full-blooded attempt by both of them just to win the ball. Luke Meade has it. Dara Fitzgibbon. 3.5 minutes to go. Shane Barrett over the top for Dara Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon gets the shot away. The reaction of the Cork crowd behind you, or behind him, will tell you, yeah, he's got it. There's not a huge crowd from Cork here, it appears. Dara Fitzgibbon, another score.
Yeah, that's a great point. Shane Barrett took his time, fed it over the top. Dara Fitzgibbon had another brilliant game. I suppose we're so used to it at this stage, you know, but that's 4 from play. He's hit his frees well. And you know, Cork just keeping in touch. They probably need a goal if they're going to win it, but they're still well in touch.
John McGrath is on. So 5 points the difference. Owen Downey. Patrick Collins. Oh, Robert Doyle was out with Jack Cahalan, and in front of him too, Alan Tynan. Big game for Tipperary tonight. Now that's an interesting ball, and he just overdid it. Can't make it stick up there, and these misplaced passes from Tipperary, well, they've got it back, but it just gave Cork half an opportunity, but they're not able to capitalise. Craig Morgan, lovely feet from Morgan, and Morgan's been caught just after he hit that. He's gone down clutching his right hand. He's put the ball wide anyway.
Yeah, he really should have put that over. And Alan Tynan, who's having a super game, he's dropped one short. That one really, he went for that from way out the field. He should have been putting that into space in front of Darren McCarthy or Jason Ford in there.
I'm trying to get a figure into my head as how many minutes will be added on at the end of the 70. Oh, Ronan Marr was caught, and here come Cork. Barrett, the captain, straight at the goalkeeper. Barry Hogan puts it out for the 65.
Yeah, good block by Shane Barrett. I've been singing Ronan Marr's praises, and Barry Hogan stood up well, blocked it away. Routine enough save at the same time, but he did well.
So here's Darragh Fitzgibbon with the 65. And Fitzgibbon right down the middle, right over the black spot. So 4 points the difference. Noel McGrath is in, played in that challenge game against Galway, and gets a huge ovation with Garrod O'Connor going the other way.
Yeah, lots of space out there now. You'd expect the two McGraths maybe to combine on something with that room that's out there.
Brilliant Tipperary movement. Jake Morris started in the middle and then darted to the outside. He's got 3 to aim at in there. McCarthy trying to put pressure on Niall O'Leary. O'Leary juggling with it, gets the clearance away. Tipperary leading by 4 in the last minute of the 70. So Darragh Fitzgibbon, 3 minutes of added time. And 4 points is the lead. Fitzgibbon, oh, that's still in play. It was battered out by Barry Hogan. Cork's Diarmuid Healy, all very tight over there for Healy, and who else but Ronan Marr just stayed cool, calm and collected the ball, and out they come with Robert Doyle. Oof, Doyle, the challenge from Luke Meade, looked a little on the edge, but Doyle wasn't bothered and kept going. So the referee has the notebook out, and yeah, I think that's fair enough. A yellow card from Luke Meade, or for Luke Meade.
Just 3 minutes now. Just
yeah,
you know, I think Tips just in the last few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, their composure has deserted them a little bit. Balls that were playing into space right throughout the game, they've kind of started panicking and hitting in high ball that's not suiting them. They're losing it inside.
Ronan Marr. Okay, so less than 2 minutes to go. Micheál Mullins. He's going to be a fixture in this team, you would think, although there's a massive amount of talent still to come back. So many household names in the Cork team missing for tonight. Niall O'Leary. O'Leary, that was up towards Brian Hayes, but Ronan Marr lost the ball. Patrick Horgan trying to pick it. They can still do this, and Tipperary look way too open. What's on here? Hogan comes out off his line, and Cork just couldn't get it right. Well, Barry Hogan getting some praise in here.
Oh, it was the hand pass. You know, it was. It should have went to hand, and it was chanced on. Barry Hogan was off his line very quick. But you watch it here. It was way away from it, hit the deck.
Yeah.
If that had gone to hand a yard inside, it was a great chance for goal.
It's a 65. But Darragh Fitzgibbon is looking for the ball. So Micheál Mullins is getting some treatment at the moment. Just right behind where Darragh Fitzgibbon is lining up this 65. So what on earth is going on here? Craig Morgan has the ball in his hand. He's lifted it up off the ground from where Darragh Fitzgibbon had placed it for the 65. Well, there's your 3 minutes gone anyway.
That's exactly what he's at, but I'm sure the ref will take that into account. There was a bit of an injury, so I expect to be another minute anyway.
So this to put a goal between them from Darragh Fitzgibbon. I love the amateur umpires back there. Oh, it is wide. Oh, my word. It is wide. So whoever it was in the tip colours calling it wide was correct, and I apologise. So it's down to the discretion of the referee now how much longer he adds on. Tipperary, after the defeat in Limerick, needed a victory here. That victory isn't done yet. Darragh Fitzgibbon ends up on the ground. Well, there it is over. And after the heartbreak that Tipperary endured in the Munster Championship here last year, this is a big victory for them. Certainly is for Liam Cahill's team. It means an awful lot for them and to them as they beat Cork here. It's actually their first win over another Munster county in the league in almost 2 years. In 23, they beat Waterford in March of that year in the league. So this is a significant victory for them, Michael.
Well, it is. Look, we all know it's the league, and it's, you know, it's still only late February, but I think psychologically, I think it's a big boost for them, you know, and I think more bringing the supporters with them, the crowd out here again this evening, showing that, you know, they're willing to put their shoulder to the wheel, and you couldn't fault anybody on their team. Cork missed a lot of players, we know that. They still played very well in patches. It was a very, very good game for this time of the year, but I think Tipperary's overall work rate, I think, was very, very good tonight, and I think their attitude very, very good. So great win for Tip.
Very good. Okay, let's confirm the full-time score. Tipperary 2-22, Cork 1-21.
Thanks, Mick, and thanks, Darragh. Good seeds being sown there by Tipperary. Psychologically, what did this mean to the team, do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, I thought they were the better team by maybe more than a point in the first half, Damien. I really did. I thought they were hungrier, thought they fought harder. Cork are down a good few bodies. You think of Harnedy and Dalton, and straight away Mark Coleman, these sort of fellas, Robert Downey. But still, you know, Cork started the second half whirlwind enough and brought it back to a point, and you know, you'd say, is it going to be Cork now? But then Tip got their patch, and they milked the patch, in fairness, and gave them the decisive lead.
It's only February, Liam, but it was an important win. Would you feel for Liam Cahill and what he's trying to do in this project?
100%, Damien. I mean, you know, last year was a tough day for Liam Cahill and that team, you know, and as I said, to go from 3 points down to losing by 18 in the last 30 minutes was a big blow to the team. But I think the way they've recovered, clearly there's a lot of work gone in, and you can see the work is paying off. You know, I thought the energy and the spirit in the group looks really, really strong, and that's always a good measure, and there's no doubt about it. That was a very, very impressive second half.
I'm delighted to be joined by Jake Morris. Jake, we're just talking about the work rate there and the work that you guys are putting in, and just what it means. Maybe it's only February, but to get a performance like that, to help banish the demons of what's gone on before.
Yeah, look, sure, all we can do is put our best foot forward this year, you know. We tried our best to address last year. It's not easy. We know we weren't up to the scratch, up to the level. You know, it's a big honour to represent that Tipperary jersey, and we felt like we let it down. But all we can do is rectify it now. And look, we're trying to do our talking on the field. It's not perfect, but we're working hard, and no, that's a decent result tonight.
Just in terms of the structure then, the shape on the field, Jake, are you kind of progressing on that week to week as well, maybe finding the balance between getting the backs sorted out and then trying to be a threat up front as well?
Yeah, look, I think, to be fair, our backs have been superb since the start of the league. They've been brilliant, I thought, and it's just really up front we had to pull the slack a bit more, I felt. Yeah. But sure, it helps when you have lads like Darragh McCarthy and Oisin O'Donoghue pushing on there, so after giving us a great kind of boost of energy up there, but I think our backs were superb, to be fair.
Jake, it was a stinging old defeat last year, the championship won, and I'm sure the manager sort of reminded you over the fortnight's break about it in your own field here in Semple.
Yeah, sure, look, you don't need to tell us, like, we're the ones out here feeling the hurt, so like I said, we can't stay looking back in the back mirror. We have to look forward now and start trying to rectify and do our talking on the field, and I suppose that's just what we're trying to do at the minute.
Was it hard to drown out the outside noise, Jake? You live it every single day, like no matter where you go, hurling, and Tipperary jersey means an awful lot to people. Is it hard to drown it out and just focus on getting back on the horse again?
Yeah, sure, look, we're down in the trenches. The GA players are in the trenches. We're out there every day working, we're listening to it, so it's hard to hide away from it. But I think, as Liam used to say when he was in, was the double Dutch. You have to kind of block it out and really focus on what's going on inside the dressing room inside, and that's what we're trying to do.
You have to explain this double Dutch.
Yeah. That's our code.
It's poor true language.
But looking at it, Jay, I thought the work ethic that's in the group looks to be significantly up. I thought there's a massive energy and a massive spirit. So surely that's something you're applying to and really buying into Liam Cahill's ethos around work ethic.
No, of course. Look, we really want to make it work. Like Liam and Mike and the lads have us set up brilliantly, and we want to represent him as. We want to represent Liam Cahill and the way he trains his teams. And I suppose that's what it always is: high energy, high passion, high edge, and. It's grand there tonight, but now we have to back it up again down in Olin Park next weekend.
Jake, you played a great game, great leadership tonight. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to go to another leader in the Tipperary team tonight, man of the match, Ronan Maher. He's with Dara.
Ronan, you're the Alliance man of the match. Congratulations. Big victory for you.
Yeah, great. Good win. Very challenging match here in the stadium tonight, and obviously a great atmosphere, plenty of people around, and it's great to be playing these games on a Saturday night. But like I said, a tough challenge against Cork. A lot of hurt from last year, but lots of learnings as well from us as a young team. So happy with the performance we put in tonight. Plenty of learnings to come out of it as well, going forward for championship. But happy with the performance.
Like loads of huge performances, including yourself. But one thing about the team all the way through is the work rate. You work so hard for each other. We did, yeah, and it's something that had to improve big time. And I think we've seen plenty of that here tonight. Lads worked for each other, working back. The forwards worked very hard as well. Cork are a very fit outfit, so you have to cover a lot of ground against them. So we'd like to think that we've a good bit of work done, and we settled well tonight. So big performance from a few new lads as well there. Joe Caesar made his debut, which is great, and he had a great game there, wing back. So getting learns the whole time. Mushin Donoghue coming in as well, got a point after coming in. So it's great to see that happening as well, and the mutes coming on. What has the inclusion and the addition of those new lads done to the panel? It's refreshing. It's like every team, and everybody's getting them every year, so it's important, very important for us as well here in Tipperary. And listen, they're great young lads. They've the head in the right place, so they're driving us on the whole time, and there's fierce competition there, so we just need to keep it that way in a healthy environment. And like I said, they came on, they proved themselves there tonight. Ronan, well done, congratulations. Great stuff. Thanks a million.
I'd say between Ronan and Paddy, there's some amount of silverware in that Maher household. Here's the first goal, Jake Morris, after a great work by Alan Tynan, back at the Cork net. That's his trademark underage scores. Second half then, another great goal. Craig Morgan from Killerwall makes the run, finished off by Dylan Walsh from Ballingarry. He would have enjoyed that as well. 2 goals sending Tipperary underway. This leaves the table. The Premier County are top at the moment. It's still very early days. Cork are mid-table, but they play Kilkenny at home next weekend, and they'll be hoping to add 2 more points to that. What a fine game in Thurles this evening. Plenty to dissect after the break. But first, competition time.
RT Sport want to send you and 3 friends to Dublin, staying 2 nights at Ireland's first Travelodge Plus, located in the heart of the city, close to all the main attractions. Once there, you and your 3 friends will stay in the hotel's superior super rooms with a tasty breakfast each morning. There's cocktails and dinner too in Moscow, the hotel's modern bar, kitchen and outdoor terrace, so you can relax and unwind before your next adventure in the city. Check it all out on travelodge.ie/Dublin City Centre. Plus, so you can hit the shops, there's a €1,000 cash prize too. So for your chance to win the lot, answer this question: who was awarded the PwC GAA GPA Footballer of the Year for 2024? Was it Paul Conroy or Kieran Kilkenny? To enter, call the number on screen or text the word GAME followed by your answer and name to 57886. Maximum cost per entry is €2.50. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday on Monday the 3rd of March. Full details are on rte.ie/competitions, where the lucky winner will also be revealed.
Some stories seem like total mysteries.
The Dublin Poker Festival hit the headlines when one of its players disappeared.
Yeah, well, he just vanished.
There are serious concerns for his safety.
He's described as being 1.9.
No clues had been revealed until now.
I got a phone call, and there was a man who told me that he had information about what happened to Jon.
From RTE in Ireland.
And Thurles in Iceland.
Where is Jon?
Available on RTE Radio Player and wherever you get your podcasts.
A pint of Coors, please! Coors, please! Coors, please! A pint of Coors, please! Fresh, everything in my life right now, fresh.
We do things differently on the mountain. Like never serving our beer until the mountains turn blue. Coors, keep it fresh.
Get behind the fight by giving your local LGFA club a chance to win up to €50,000. Lidl, proud supporters of ladies Gaelic football.
Welcome to BHI.
Healthcare's done differently here.
It's not just about connecting with you, but with each other.
Paediatricians and specialists and nurses who all work here.
So we're all on the same page.
Yours.
Our own clinicians and our own clinics.
Making progress. Yes, Kira.
You're part of a wider healthcare network
That takes a wider view of your health. Welcome to BHI.
Sometimes in football, it rains goals, but a 2-goal lead can suddenly disappear. That's why at Boyle Sports we have early payout on every match. So if your team goes 2 up, we'll pay up. Whatever happens next, Boyle Sports, the home of early payout. Don't just bet, choose wisely.
Did you know that if you shave, 1/3 of what you remove is skin? Dove Advanced Care helps it recover. So if you shave it, Dove it. Dove Advanced Care Antiperspirant helps your skin recover after every shave.
Sleep on and let your bills keep us awake at night. For a great deal, bonkers.ie. We're on the money.
The Philly cheese stack is back at McDonald's.
Feels so good.
One for the cheese lovers.
Liam, I'm on the move.
So what's new? How are you?
Hi, it's Liam. Go on. There's your mother. She's been for walking these days. She's got the pedometer and everything, you know.
And how are you, Dad?
Ah, we're flying it, sure.
but how are you holding up?
Get you.
Dad?
1 sec now. What did you say?
I was just saying, how are you?
Yeah, sure you know yourself.
Yeah.
Stay connected with 3, Ireland's fastest mobile network.
So round 4 of the Allianz Hurling League, Tipperary 222, Cork 121, a 4-point win for Tipperary. A healthy spread of scorers from both sides, and young Dara McCarthy and Dara Fitzgibbon doing well from place balls. And really and truly, guys, though, would the overall picture of this game be pure work rate? Is that what got Tipperary over the line, Liam?
Well, I think it had a big part to play in it, Damien, especially across the half-forward line. I thought Gerard O'Connor, like Willie Connors, does really well here to dispossess Robbie O'Flynn, and Gerard O'Connor, in fairness, takes on his man and again strikes a great score. He got 2 lovely points in that second half, you know, and I thought that half forward line really dominated in the second half. You know, here's Jake again, turnover ball, steps up, and again no better man with 60-70 yards out to bang the ball over the bar. Great score, and I thought it was very influential in the centre. You know, when Dermot Healy turns here, you think there's trouble on, but watch again, you know, A turnover, Alan Tynan gets the hurley in, all of a sudden the breaks. Craig Morgan, who had a wonderful second half, made the goal, great point again. So, you know, all that gives real energy. And here you have Luke Meade again. Watch Alan Tynan in his steps, out to Oisin O'Donoghue, only on the pitch, over the bar. And, like, you know, in that second half, they're big scores in that game, and Tip only conceded 11 points, and I think it's a lot to do with the work rate of their forwards. I thought it made a big difference tonight.
A little bit damning on Cork as well, though. They were completely out-battled tonight.
Agreed.
Even after half-time, there was a period there where, you know, they hit 4 or 5 without reply. Were you not thinking that maybe they looked like they could surge home then, Anthony?
And they did that in the first half as well, Damien, you know, and they will dazzle you at times. No, they're down a lot, and he wasn't afraid, as we'll touch on. He wasn't afraid to try out young lads, you know, and he's looking at to increase the depth in his panel.
Right, let's hear from the victorious Tipperary manager, Liam Cahill. He's with Dara.
Liam, congratulations. Give us your reaction to the victory.
Yeah, delighted with the performance. They're a real workmanlike attitude tonight from our fellas, and you know, just delighted to be able to compete with a team of the calibre of Cork, like, you know, all our finalists last year, and really happy with the way we stemmed a bit of Cork pressure there when it came as well, and players really got to grips with what was happening on the field. So again, all little bits of building blocks that are coming, but you know, great place to be at the moment with these bunch of players. They're really giving everything for Tipperary. So yeah, at the moment things are going fine.
And like the fact that you did it here, the scene of, well, we know what happened last year against Cork, so this was important for you tonight. Absolutely, and just thrilled as well with the big Tipperary support here, and you know, you could feel the energy of the players seeping into the stands and vice versa, and that's what we're trying to aim for here, and you know, perform every time we play, and obviously when we play here at home in Thurles. So really thrilled, and again getting our heads around the next task now, which is massive again, to go to Nolan Park in 2 weeks' time. So all preparation, Dara, as you know, for April. You know, I know it's the springtime now, and summer is when you really have to be ready, and we're very aware of that. When you're reshaping the team and all the new players who've come in, you know, Ronan Marr was man of the match, like the experienced players, the importance that they are to the younger ones around them. Yeah, absolutely, they really are. You know, apart from their leadership on the field, their leadership off the field is incredible, and we're setting a real good culture about where this group is going. And you know, please God, you know, there's a lot of new young talent coming through that'll stand Tip in good stead in future years. Thanks very much for your time. Brilliant.
So, Anthony, just from a managerial point of view, Liam Cahill's league record over the years has been really impressive. Obviously, people have wondered, do they run out of steam? Do his teams run out of steam in championship time? He mentioned the culture and the young players that are coming through. Will that help him drown out the noise about Tipperary teams under his stewardship maybe fading a little bit in summer?
Well, that won't be told until the summer, unfortunately. But what I will say is, I think we all know he's a very honest broker, right? And he's had to do a bit more talking than you would like to be doing as manager in terms of drumming up support and organising a few things in the background and getting the people behind. But there's nothing like nights like tonight to get the people behind you. That's the reality of it.
Yeah, no, I think he's right. You know, I mean, it was quite embarrassing from a Tipperary perspective when you think of the crowd that was here last year for the championship match. So, you know, it was a big change tonight. So, nights like tonight helped the performance. And again, you know, Cork are a great team to travel and support. I mean, over 11,000 people here tonight. I thought it was a great atmosphere league game, great advertising for hurling. And again, both teams will go away. There'll be a lot that they'll be happy with. Pat Ryan will be very happy. Like Niall O'Leary, when he went over on Darren McCarthy, I thought he was outstanding. There was some aspects, some of Cork's play tonight was very good, but they mixed the good with the not so good. So both teams will have loads to work on, but Liam Cahill will be a very happy man coming out of Thurles tonight.
People will say, you know, they're going full steam ahead, they're training very hard, they're out of the blocks early. Is that threat still there, that they must carry this through now, even though the players are young, that they must continue on into the summer?
Yeah, but I suppose, as we said earlier on, Damien, that, you know, until the league semi-final last year against Clare, they were flying, and it just the wheels came off a little bit after that, and they just have. They're a year on, though. And he did touch on as well that he didn't rush Seanie Kennelly and Darren McCarthy in. He could have played them last year. They were under 20s. He was entitled to play them, but he said no, leave them to develop. And that might be paying off for him now.
Jaron Mellerick, we spoke about him in the first half, and you mentioned at half-time, Anthony, would he be taken off or would he be switched over? He got 2 great blocks on Dylan Walsh, but Dylan Walsh did come in for a crucial goal, a goal that probably saw Tipperary over the end line.
He did, and in fairness to Mellerick, Pat Ryan showed great faith in him by not taking him off, and he had a good second half, very good. Little he could do, just a long puck out down the middle by Barry, and just Jason went up and broke it. Craig Morgan who Liam said earlier had a great second half, gave it to Dylan. Patrick Collins, to be fair to him, when you see it again, really put his body on the line to try and save it. But he probably could have gone left or right here, but he has that bit of pace. That's why he's out midfield. And once that ball hit his hand, that was good. That's an old corner back there, thinking like a centre forward. And you can see how close. I think he actually got a touch, Patrick Collins, but that was really the deciding score, Damien, because you did feel that Cork could still have a patch at that stage, but that gave them the breathing space and saw it through.
And Patrick Collins nearly saved a shot from Aaron Gillan in last year, but when that goal went through, then did you back Tipperary from there on in to see this through, Liam?
Well, I think they got on top, and like they had a lot of energy, and you know, and, like there's a lot of good players there, but they found a level of confidence. And again, I think some of the Cork players, like as we said, there was 8 All-Ireland starters, there was 4 guys that came on in the All-Ireland final. I probably would, if I was Pat Ryan, I'd have expected a little bit more from some of them that are, you know, second, third year on the panel and on the team. I thought they might have wanted to push on a little bit more. So there's a small little bit of head scratching, I'd say, for Pat on the way home, because if they had to win tonight, they probably had given themselves a real chance of getting into league final.
And there's been an awful lot of talk as well, Damien, that they need a trophy.
Yeah, well, 1998 was the last league final, right? And then the championship, obviously, a long time as well. So, like, after losing last year's All-Ireland final in heartbreaking fashion, is the perfect answer to come and win some silver, be it league or otherwise?
Well, sure. Everybody from Cork has been unanimous outside of Tipperary lads and Clare lads talking about it, that, you know, a trophy, as Liam wrote there a few weeks back, a trophy in the room is a help all the time. And now they're after putting themselves under a bit of pressure. I mean, the battle and win or draw with Limerick, that no one came away thinking there was anything wrong with that night. But now you're on 3 points, and the next game is crucial, really.
How do you rate their strength and depth, Liam? Pat Horgan came off the bench tonight and had a flurry of points straight away. I think Healy had a point or two as well. Are you happy with the guys that they still have to come back in and what they will be when they have those players back?
Look, yeah, Cork have a fine panel, and even Micheál Mullins showed glimpses of what he can do. Like, there's a lot of good players in Cork, but I think it's about getting the balance right.
Yeah, like, and it wasn't all about giving young fellas a run either, was it? Your man back, Hoggy, does he ever stop doing it, Damien? You know, and what a score early on. Again, showed the body strength here just to, you know, hold off his man, roll him, get inside and forces the free in, and he was so sharp all through. But now I think he's also looking for a bit of depth, and this was a great bit of play here. Ethan Toomey, beautiful ball onto Diarmuid Dudsey Healy, who's been a lot of talk about. Great score by him. He gave Jack Cahalane a run. He gave Brian Roach a run. You know, he definitely wasn't afraid to experiment. He's probably knows he's very near the finished article. Of course, he was almost there last year, beating Limerick twice and agonisingly losing the final. So he's looking for maybe that little bit more. Pádraig Power has been a big loss to them. Big loss.
OK, let's draw a line under tonight's event, so maybe have a quick look tomorrow. You've got Wexford and Clare, Liam. Wexford are looking for players to come back too. Lee Chin is back in, but a tough task against the Clare side that need points badly too.
Yeah, and I think you can see by Brian Lohan's team, he's anxious to get 2 points on the board, so it's going to be a tough